So in this episode we will talk about character sheets, more specifically the character sheets of my vertical slice edition. Before we start today's episode, I just want to remind you of the 96 likes. Before I started this project of Explorers RPG, I've been using this book to just note down different stuff that is role-playing related. And all of this is fun and interesting for world builders, for role players and so on. So 96 likes, and I will go through all the 96 pages that I have here. And while you're down there, please press the subscribe button because, well, I want subscribers. So this is currently my idea for the vertical slice edition and the character sheet that is going to be used. As you can see here, there's two parts. There's the rules referencing here, which just shorthands for all the other information that is in the specific rules. And then you have this page right here, which is your character. It's very simple, and it's literally very simple because, well, the game itself is only supposed to be played for a couple of hours. Your character is literally this. You have a name. I've written down role here just to give like an idea of who you are in the party. So this is the leader role. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are a leader or that there's a class that is a leader or anything. It's just something. Then you have the attributes and the skills. I've talked about them and how they work. And as you can see here, you have the different dice and so on. Yeah, it's literally very easy. Again, in the full edition, I will have a lot more skills and a lot more choice for yourself. And I'm not quite certain yet if the skills and attributes should be divided in this way, or if I should use it in a different way. But I'm doing it this way currently now because, well, I can test it out. This is literally playtesting stuff. Then we have the equipment section right here. As you can see, you have an axe and a wool cloak. And then you have the item description for axe. These are the rules for what the axe does. The wool cloak itself, as you can see, it isn't highlighted in any way. So what I do here is to highlight the different items that literally means something, and then the items that don't mean much, it's just there for character customization. They're just listed. Lastly, we have the abilities right here. Two abilities. It makes sense to me that you as a player can wrap your head around two abilities to do, and that's literally why I chose two abilities. And I'm still not sure where to go when it comes to characters, classes, races, feats, abilities, magic, all of those stuff. I literally don't know if I'm going to have a class or a classless system yet, but I need to test out some things, and therefore I'm just testing out some abilities to see what happens. And lastly, over here we have the health, supply and spirit. This is again tracking your health, it's tracking your supplies, and it's tracking your spirit, which is again tied to your abilities. Each time you're going to use an ability, as you can see, it has, for instance, a cost of 5, means that you roll your spirit die, which, let's say in this case it's a d8, and if you fail the roll, it will be lowered to a d6, but if you succeed the roll, it will still remain a d8. And so you're just tracking here, and I really like this way of tracking rather than, let's say, for instance, when you're tracking HP, where you literally have to write down each and every time you're spending like mana or health or something in order to get what you're doing. I really like just rolling dice, and that at some points it will be lowered, but not every time you actually use your ability. But one thing that I thought about when it came to this was, how could I more easily track these things? I mean, I could like write or erase each time that I downgrade or upgrade the die, depending on what happens in the situation. But I thought that again, you will have the same problem as with HP, that you are like striking out stuff, you're erasing, then writing again, re-erasing, and so on. It will eventually tear your character sheet. So I was thinking, like, how could I prevent this? And an easy solution would be paper clips. So I thought that the idea would be that you would just insert a paperclip like this, and then you could easily track what your current supply, your current spirit, and your current health is. And it won't, at least not to the same degree as if you're erasing and rewriting, it won't degrade your character sheets as you're moving along. So I could easily change that to a D10 if that happens, then go back to a D8, and then go up to a D10 if I somehow heal, or I don't know. Yeah. So some ideas that I'm working on, and I think this is my final version of this character sheet. Again, at some point I literally have to just say, this is it, I'm just publishing something just to test out what works and what doesn't. And yeah, this is it. Now, Mike, if you're watching this video, I mean, you're working on an RPG called Operation Paperclip, about, well, Operation Paperclip, and character sheets, tracking with paperclips. It's a little bit meta, but it would be supreme if you did that. So yeah. Now, one thing that was interesting about this here document that I made is that it could be that whenever you're printing out these here, it could be that you're printing out each of these on one single page, so that you would get one character sheet on each of these. But it could also be that you had a double page, so that it is the same on both sides. And I literally made this here so that it is actually same on the both sides, so that if you need to have two character sheets from this here one sheet of paper, you can easily cut the paper right here, and you will get one character sheet like this with the rules and the references on the back. And so yeah, you can literally have two character sheets like this, and that will make it so that either you print out one character sheet per sheet of paper, or you can print out two character sheets per sheet of paper and cut it in half and still get two character sheets. And these small little details like this is something that just adds a small bonus to the margins of your role-playing game. I think they are important in some aspects because, well, accessibility and so on is something that we really need to think about when it comes to role-playing games. And well, this is a small contribution to the people who wants to save on paper and who can print ink on both sides of a paper. And so this is the final version of my role-playing game, at least for now. This here role-playing game and this here character will only function for the first few hours of playing the game. After that, whenever you're trying to do other stuff, I think most of this will break and the GM will have to rewrite stuff and come up with stuff on their own. But it will work for the few hours that I want the playtest to last. Okay, I think that's all that I have to say about this here character sheet. The vertical slice edition is soon on the way, and if you want to follow the progress and want to follow me, please go to the itch.io webpage that's in the link in the description. You follow me there and just wait for that PDF to come out. It will come out soon, and like, share and subscribe. I really want this here thing to work, and I really want to push forward on this. So like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to share this with your GM because they'll probably like it. See ya.